Hi guys, welcome back to AFTV. We have won. This is the full-time show, and this is pretty much going to be a pleasure, really, for the next hour to actually talk about an Arsenal win.
A positive full-time.
Oh, we got through. Listen, we're here for an hour, and we're going to have lots of different people coming on, so we don't want to be repeating the same stuff. We're going to break the game down. We'll get some general thoughts from Harvey and everyone who comes on. We're going to break it down. But the most important thing about this show is that you're going to have your say. So the phone number, which appears on the screen, send your videos and voice notes into WhatsApp, preferably videos, because we want to see you. We want to see your expressions and know what you're saying and see it on our screens. But anyway, send in your reactions. We'll react to it, and yeah. There we go. Let's get into it.
Why are you out of breath? You've literally been sitting
because that was stressful. I know I am out of breath because it's really hot and I might have to take this off. But also because that was stressful. I found that Arsenal's lack of conviction and their inability to put the game to bed made that really difficult. We're just hearing some audio coming through. Right. Anyway, we're going to go through some videos very soon. Quickly, sum up the game from your perspective. Go. Well, I catch my breath.
Have a drink. Decent first half, to be honest. More so than the second half. I think the second half we were just kind of hanging on, and Burnley kind of seemed to dominate us quite well, at least from my perspective. Overall, I think I'm happy that we won. I don't know why I was so optimistic in the first place. It was a bit of a scrappy win, but listen,
what you predicted should have been though.
Listen, we should have won 3-0, 3-1, whatever, but we seem to like these 1-0 wins at Burnley.
Yeah, I agree. Look, guys, let's go into your video straight away. Let's see what you guys had to say. Remember, the number's on your screen now. Send in your videos, and we want to hear what you have to say, and we'll be responding, discussing it with you guys. There's Harvey trying to show us where it is. I love it. Right, let's go into them.
Hey guys, Ebe here again. I want to do a negative and a positive, and I'll start with the negative. Besides our forwards not being able to be clinical enough in front of goal, which is an obvious one, I still think that we're sort of one big injury away of not being able to compete and maintain get into the top six. Like if we lose Gabriel or Partey long term, I think we're not gonna fare well this season. So we need to keep them healthy. But I do have a positive, which is Lokonga, Tavares, and Maitland-Niles. I like them as a backup core, especially in a game like this when we're winning 1-0. Having them come off the bench, I think they're pretty solid, and I trust them.
What's going on, AFTV? Matt from America here. Just watched this game, yet another absolutely awful performance. There's no fluidity, there's no quick touching, there's no urgency, and I don't see a single player that played well that game under Arteta's tactics besides Gabriel. Had a great game defending. Every other player played horribly in this system that we play. Even when Arteta gets the lineup right, even when he gets the formation right, he gets the tactics horribly wrong and the team underperforms. Yet another awful performance, and this team's going to get turned inside out and turned around against Tottenham, and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, and I'm waiting for it, unfortunately.
Yes, AFTV is going to react to the game. It was a solid 1-0 win. And me personally, the man of the match was Aaron Ramsdale. We can see how confident he is on the ball and when he comes for crosses, which Leno was always giving us a bit of worry every time because he was not really commanding. And at the same time, couple things to criticize. I think Ben White was taking quite a long time on the ball. If you notice how Gabriel moves, he shifts and passes it quick. He was inviting pressure. I think if we moved it quickly, and there was one instance where he moved it quickly and boom, Saka and Pepe were running at the Burnley's defence. But overall, I'm actually surprised that we held it down, but obviously we're going to lead a lot more for the North London derby. But final thoughts is that, it was a good solid win. And man of the match, Aaron Ramsdale, and at the same time, I wish Aubameyang did a bit more. He was a bit missing. So we have still a bit more to improve on. But it's good signs that it's a young team. So I'm not going to write them off completely. It's shown a bit more positivity. And solid 1-0 win to the Arsenal. Bless, man.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's where Arsenal are right now. They're putting in performances that are massively dividing fans. We've heard awful performance from, I believe it was Matt from America. Thank you so much for sending your videos in. And then the other guys were a bit more positive, said, it's not there, the performance and the level we want isn't there, but there were positive signs. Awful feels very harsh to me. Burnley is not an easy place to go. A lot of teams will drop points. A lot of big teams will really struggle to get over the line against Burnley. To go to Turf Moor, and in the kind of position that we're in, young squad. And by the way, I know that's down to Arteta and Edu to a degree and all that, but generally a young squad. In the form we've been on, with the pressure this team's under, go to Burnley and grind out a win like that. Listen, yeah, it wasn't a goal from open play, it was a bit of magic from Odegaard, but the chances were there. And I think, unlike Norwich, where I was more positive but I understood why people were critical, I am ultimately quite happy with this performance.
Yeah, no, I'm happy as well. I think there were good individual performances in Ramsdale, Gabriel and Odegaard especially. And then there were some not so good performances from Saka. I think even Smith Rowe was a little bit
hot and cold
on the slow side a little bit there.
I thought Ben White was very hot and cold, as in some moments where I thought he looked great and some moments that I thought he looked a bit shoddy,
Some things that kind of, I don't know, I guess confused me a little bit was the fact that we were just really slow.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't any kind of like driving force as such, at least I didn't think so. I don't know what you thought about that.
It felt to me like we were waiting for Burnley to come to us before we knocked the ball.
Yeah.
And then we were hoping that we could exploit space rather than try and make it happen for ourselves.
Doesn't really make too much sense to me, if I'm being
Well,
honest.
it kind of like, I think that kind of thing works once every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like once every 10 minutes they'll press and you find the space and maybe you can try and exploit it. A, we don't exploit it well enough. But B, you're almost waiting for the openings to happen. But it's few and far between. It happens like every 10 minutes or so. And so while Arsenal had chances, there wasn't like a sustained spell of possession or a sustained spell in the game where I thought a goal's coming here, we're really causing them problems. So yeah, that was frustrating. We've got a super chat from Desaf says, I told you last time that Ben White is the English Mustafi. I'd like to apologise to Mustafi. Ben White offers nothing.
No.
He's a complete liability. I wildly disagree with that, but I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion, but I completely and utterly disagree with that. Ben White at times, I think there are a lot of balls that went into the box that a Burnley player didn't really ever get to, but White was there dealing with them. I think he was good in terms of intercepting. I think his distribution out the back was okay. I think you got to understand, him and Gabriel are being asked to, what's the word? They're being asked to draw the Burnley team out and have a degree of composure. So at times where it looks like he's slow and he's taking his time, he's been asked to do that. You can tell it happens far too often for it to just be kind of the way he wants to do it. Gabriel's doing it too. So I think ultimately it wasn't a great performance from Ben White, but there were some good moments and I think there were some poor moments as well. And he got away with one there with the penalty that was overturned.
I think Ramsdale did very well there.
Ramsdale did really well, got him out of trouble.
Very well there. And I think, I mean, if you're watching the stream, you'll know that Lee Judges was not particularly happy with that.
Yeah.
And I think, well, that's kind of what VAR's there for. When the referee makes a mistake, it's there to step in, and rightfully so it did. And
yeah,
it was fine. I think Ramsdale was a great performance today.
We've got a super chat from FM Shake says, we need to lay off the Ben White criticism a bit. He's still settling in and forming a partnership with Gabriel. They both have flaws, and once they learn how to complement each other, it can be a very good partnership. I agree, and I felt at times they actually worked quite well together. I think there were times where there was a degree of understanding. Gabriel was the superior of the two today, for sure. I mean, Gabriel was absolutely fantastic today. And we're going to talk about man of match in a bit. We're going to get everyone's take as well. But I thought he was terrific. And generally, for all we're saying about Ben White and how we were poor today, apparently, according to some people, did Burnley cause us that many problems, really?
Well, they had about 18 shots or so in the box, like into the, for Ramsdale to deal with. So they could have.
They could have, and that's kind of what we said was good about the Norwich game, was that we had lots of shots, so we can't be hypocrites, Having shots means you're getting into positions to have those. Yeah. But generally, I think we dealt with everything okay. And actually, the most impressive thing for me was set pieces. I felt we dealt with their set pieces really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to look at the stats in this?
Yeah, whack them on. Yeah, let's go through them.
So, just looking at the stats then. So, as I said, 18 shots.
Hey guys, Jen from Australia back again. Oh my god, what a win. The boys, they really deserve this. I feel like
possession for Burnley, 55.4 for Arsenal, 386 Burnley passes to 522 for the Gunners, and then a 75% pass accuracy for Burnley and 81% for Arsenal. What does that tell you, James?
It tells me that we were really poor in the second half. It was 6 shots each, but you know, and I say this as well. Stats don't mean everything. It is frustrating to concede 18 shots to Burnley because it ultimately meant that we weren't asserting ourselves the way we should, but we had the chances. Let's hear what more people have had to say because the videos are coming in.
Let's have a look.
Keep sending them in, guys.
Hey guys, Jen from Australia back again. Oh my god, what a win. The boys, they really deserve this. I feel like we just need to keep on going, keep this ball rolling over the next, say, 8 to 10 games. We need to get some wins and some draws on the score sheets. I don't want to see one more L until at least December, January even. I feel like that will help boost the confidence and the team morale. The boys just need to fight and they need to keep fighting and they need to win every single game. It doesn't matter if we're playing Man City or we're playing Norwich. We need to win these games. Every game is pivotal and it all counts at the end of the day. Anyways, I'm glad I got up. It's 2 a.m. in Australia, so I'm definitely really tired, but it was worth it to see my boys win. Thank you so much. Bye.
This is Kerry from Kenya. 3 points in the bag. I think we had a really good game, but Oba did not really fight enough for the team. I would have loved to see Martinelli or Lacazette to come on to the game and probably something would have been different up front, but I believe we have ourselves a keeper. Gabriel played really, really well. Probably Ben White needs a couple of more games to adjust with his partnership with Gabriel. But 3 points in the bag. Let's look forward to the next weekend and see what's going on. Actually, we have Wimbledon in midweek. Hopefully we...
First of all, 3 points. It doesn't matter how it looks. It's the 3 points that count. Big up to everyone at AFTV, Robbie, Turkish, James, everyone, Pippa and all that. You get me? But big up the 3 points, mate. Bring on Spurs.
And we're back. We've got Charlene.
Woo! Magic!
How are you?
I'm good.
I spent quite literally all day with you. We had the morning stream, then we had all the now.
I know, and you're still here smiling.
I'm still here smiling. We won. Are you happy?
Woo! Of course, 3 points.
Sure, I need this energy because I'm getting tired, so I need this energy. I'm glad you're here. 3 points. Go on, just give us kind of a brief kind of summary, and then we're going to obviously respond to what a lot of the people have been saying.
Coolio. Well, I'm happy that we got the 3 points today. I mean, I did initially say either a 1 or 2-0 win to Arsenal. We started the game so well. 10 minutes in, we was looking positive and, you know, really held on to the ball. Then we sort of dipped a bit. I feel like overall we did make it a bit difficult for ourselves, but we managed to see the game out, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I want to pick up on some stuff that you were saying during the watch along. We'll go to it in a sec. Greg with the super chat says, Pepe isn't good enough. I really want him to succeed, but he's lazy on the ball. He's a downgrade of Sanchez, getting bored of watching him now. Greg, I think...
Wow.
I completely understand the frustration with Pepe because if him, Aubameyang, Saka as well today, if they'd been more... If they had more conviction, we win this game 2-3-0, and we're talking about a very different performance. But in terms of the word lazy, I know you said lazy on the ball, but the work rate is there. I do think he's trying. In fairness, it just doesn't come off for him. What do you think of Pepe today?
Do you know? I think he had an all right game today. I think he played well, and even in other games prior to this, leading up to this game, I think he's been shining. He's been standing out, and he's really been putting the work in.
Yeah.
So I disagree with that comment. I mean, there are, you know, some chances that we should have finished, but I think Pepe played well today.
Yeah, I agree. Got a nice super chat from Sean says, nobody is talking about Tommy. I've been thinking he means Tomiyasu. Well, obviously he means Tomiyasu. What else could he mean? He goes, my guy with a big love heart. So,
we love Tommy.
Tomiyasu is very good. We're going to break down how the players did and we'll get our thoughts on the individuals. But I kind of want to get your thoughts on, you know, big up everyone, by the way. We've had videos from Australia, Kenya, America already, and you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Keep sending them in and we're going to get them on screen and hear what you guys have to say. Differing opinions. I'm really sorry, I forgot that the lady from Australia just said 3 points. You know, that's just about winning and getting momentum. Where do you fall? How important is the performance, or are you just thinking, we won, I don't care, the performance will come?
I think performance counts, because if you're not putting in a good performance, how are you expected to win games? So yeah, the 3 points are essential, they're vital, but also our performance is essential and vital as well. We can't just expect to go into games and, luckily win. We want to win convincingly, and we don't just want to be scraping like a 1-0 win or whatever. We want to see goals, and that is what I think we're really struggling with because, defensively we were good, kept another clean sheet. Going forward, we're able to get the ball forward, but it's just that final third where we're still struggling. It's been the same problem last season as well. So it's just finishing off that we really need to work on. So performance is vital.
We said there about 1-0. So I've got some stats in from Opta. Thanks very much, guys at Opta. Let me just read a few of these out, but this first one relates so much to what you were just saying. So Arsenal have won consecutive league games by a 1-0 scoreline for the first time since December 2014.
Wow, we're great. Bringing back all these records, ain't we?
Yeah, I know, right. Burnley are now winless in the last 13 Premier League home games, while they're also winless in the last 10 home league games with Arsenal. So good, we're going there, and I'm glad we got the 3 points. But typically we don't lose there, which is good as well. Martin Odegaard scored Arsenal's 40th direct free kick in the Premier League. He's the 17th different player to score one for the Gunners. Only Newcastle, Everton, and Man City have more different scorers. And then just the last one here: Aaron Ramsdale's the first goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet in each of his first 3 appearances for Arsenal since Wojciech Szczesny between 2009 and 2010.
Big up to Aaron Ramsdale.
Aaron Ramsdale's fantastic. Now let's go. Let's break this down. Let's start from all the way to the starting 11 and all the way to goalkeeper. That first player, the first decision gets made. Who's in goal? Tell us your kind of thoughts on the 11. The fact that Ramsdale came in, and also your thoughts on his performance.
Ramsdale's my man of the match today.
Wow, oh really?
Yeah, he is. He played with so much confidence. He was so assertive. Even he passed the ball long as well. His distribution was quick as well, which is something that we've been calling out for a while. And it sort of brought back that feeling of, when we had Martinez in going, you just felt confident with him there. That's the sense and the feeling that I got today from Aaron Ramsdale. And when you think about when he got signed and all the stick he was getting, none of the fans was in agreement with it.
He got so much,
exactly.
Didn't he? He hadn't kicked the ball yet.
Exactly.
But he did really well today.
And for him to just sort of get off to the way he started with these clean sheets and really play with that confidence. Big up to Aaron Ramsdale. Great performance from him.
Really, no, honestly, I was really, really impressed. He did. It's funny because the thing we always say that Leno is fantastic at is the shot stopping.
Yeah.
We go, he lacks, but he's a great shot stopper, and isn't that what you need from a keeper?
Exactly.
And actually, yes, it is, but Ramsdale today was really tested in all the other areas, and that's why we were so impressed, because every ball that came into the box, when he came, he got it.
Yep.
And if he didn't come, it was generally the right decision because the defenders actually dealt with it.
Yep.
So his judgment and his dominance of his area is very good. But then the distribution, when you needed to go long and hit the man, he did. When he needed to play it infield with a short pass, but make sure he wasn't putting his team under pressure, he got it right. There was one moment where they blocked the kick, but you're going to invite that a little bit, and hopefully he cuts that out of his game. And then the very last thing I'll say is that when Ben White did make the mistake and they were through and goal, great tackle.
Yep, exactly.
Got
which
the
the
ball.
ref was calling to try and give them a penalty.
Lee Judge has lost his head.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
He did everything. He commanded his area fantastically, and distribution was superb.
Yeah.
I was really happy with him.
And it's vital as well. I mean, when your keeper's playing with that much confidence and assertiveness and everything, it's going to lead from the back all the way to the front.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of people say, I can't believe we spent 24 up to upwards of 30 million on Aaron Ramsdale. And that's one of those weird figures. Odegaard's the same for 34 million, where that could easily look a very cheap figure if he plays that well throughout the rest of the season, or Odegaard bangs in free kicks and does what he did in that first half. So we're going to learn a lot about these players, but we said that this was a massive test for a lot of them, and they came through it, I think.
Yep.
And actually, after Norwich, I said the performance wasn't great, but the individuals stood out for me.
Yeah.
And I think there was a degree of that today.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah,
I mean,
think so.
What was your thoughts on Ben White as well? Because he did have, I saw you counting every time he won the headers.
I was, yeah. I was. Do you know what? When things, I was. Every time with Ben White header. When I think fans, when they don't know what to expect of a player and they watch them, they'll then just attach kind of the worst thing to them. Now, he struggled at Brentford badly.
Yeah.
this game, there were a few moments at the back pass and a few moments where he looked kind of shrugged off the ball. But generally, I thought he did okay.
Yeah.
There were bad moments, don't get me wrong, but generally, I really thought he did fine. I'd give him a 5 or 6 out of 10. Nothing special. Gabriel was a 9. You know, he was superb. And he was the better of the two. He kind of carried the partnership, Gabriel. But I thought White did okay, personally.
Do you like them two working together as well?
I think there's a nice balance there.
Yeah.
You could see the rough and ready nature of Gabriel, just throwing his body on the line and you know, clearing the ball and getting blocks in and everything. But I thought Ben White, you know, did some of the stuff that doesn't always get noticed, like the interception, the ball into feet that he just gets there, and moments like that. So I think he did okay. Look, let's hear what more you guys have had to say. Let's get it up on screen now and, hear your thoughts.
So it's 1-0 to the Arsenal, and I'm not happy at all. I'm really, if anything, I'm embarrassed, and I cannot imagine many people being happy over this because we've been so poor. It's been embarrassing. It's been an embarrassing game. It's been an embarrassing decade. Look, Tomiyasu has been fantastic, and I've got to give credit in bringing him in, because I feel like if we still had Hector Bayer in as right back, we would have conceded 1 or 2 goals. So I'm happy with Tomiyasu. The overall performance, I'm pretty disgusted. The passing has been disgusting. If we took off Saka and brought on Martinelli, like a lot of people have been crying out for this game, we probably would have scored 1 or 2 more goals. I don't see why Martinelli is not playing. I don't get it. What can he do to play? Saka's been dreadful. I'm not going to go into hard on him because he's been great for us overall, but this match has been awful. And, you know, the man management skills of Arteta it's so bad. Must be probably the worst in the Premier League. And we've scored 2 goals so far in the season in the Premier League. Like, how can anyone be accepting this? One was against a bottom place team with a really scruffy goal, one of the worst goals I've ever seen. And today we beat Burnley 1-0. They hadn't won a game at home in the past 12 matches, 13 matches now. So I don't understand how... I'm just lost for words. It's an embarrassing performance. It's embarrassing to be an Arsenal fan at the moment, and I'm not happy that we've won, to be honest with you, because I feel like if we lost, then Arteta can piss off.
1-0 to the Arsenal. Come on, good win, clean sheet. I thought the scoreline represents the game. I thought we were a little bit quiet. Pepe, Tierney. Thought Saka was a little bit poor, but good performances. Glad, happy we've got Odegaard. I think he's doing well. Tomiyasu's doing well. Glad Gabriel's back. And I back Ramsdale at the moment. I think we should keep him in for the next couple of games, especially North London derby. But it's good. Just got to keep it rolling. Hopefully Arteta sees what needs to happen, and he can shape his team to start getting some more shots on target, getting players in the box, and feeding Aubameyang in. Not sure if we see enough of Aubameyang today, but we've got to be happy. It's 1-0, back-to-back wins.
Massively contrasting opinions there, Charlie.
Complete
oh
opposite.
My word. Okay, listen. Where do we start?
Let's start with the first video, the fan saying how he was not happy with the win. And,
go on.
you can sort of understand why, because that goes back to the question you asked me. Is it just we celebrate we got 3 points, or does the performance matter? And, his opinion is actually the performance matters. I don't care about the 3 points. It's about the performance. And I can understand what he's saying, because Saka, for example, I was saying perhaps leave him out for this game. You saw in the Norwich game, he looked a bit tired. So, it's expected for him to be not as switched on, not as efficient, because the poor kid's knackered. Give him a break.
I hear that.
And I agree with what he's saying. Let Martinelli play.
Yeah, there are things I agree with, but I've got to be really honest. Firstly, thank you for sending a video in, of course, and I respect everyone's opinion, but you can't be embarrassed about winning 1-0, clean sheet at Burnley. You can't be embarrassed about that. There's a lot of work for the club to do. The last decade we've been in decline. The ownership are a joke. There's things within the club that have happened, and you've got every right to be furious and embarrassed by a lot of that, and I understand that. there's also been a lot of good in the last decade, like 4 FA Cups. And trust me, don't take trophies lightly. And also, just on today, we won, and it could have been 3 or 4. Like Norwich, the performance wasn't convincing, but it was good enough to yield 3 or 4 really good opportunities and openings that, listen, Liverpool with those chances, bury them today. 4 or 5, easily. And we did create those openings, and we've got to be better. But, I understand you're disappointed. And by the way, never will Arsenal to win, never will Arsenal to lose just for a manager to get sacked. I mean, I get people are saying, well, long term we're better off, but I just want Arsenal to win games. It's as simple as that. But look, I respect your opinion. We've got we've got some chats coming in. Second guy, more positive.
Yep, happy with the 3 points. I think we need to focus on the positives. All right, the goal that we got wasn't from open play; it was from a set piece. But there has been improvements. We've kept a clean sheet. We're looking better defensively. We are able to get forward, but it's just, we're breaking up areas and improving on them. It's just about keeping that consistent and then taking it up to a next level, finishing off the chances that we create.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got some more clips to go through. Oh, no, not yet. Oh, apologies. Let's go back to the starting 11. I know I'm taking us all the way back here, Charlene. I want to know whether now we've seen the match and how it's played out, in hindsight, did he get it right? It was brave?
Yeah, it was brave of him, because we know Arteta likes to just chop and change, but he pretty much kept the same starting 11 as last week, which we was happy about. We was happy with the starting 11. We got off to a good start. So, yeah, I liked that. The only concern, obviously, which I heard Lee Judge is saying is, Tierney and Thomas Partey, who had to be substituted because it looked like Tierney got a bit of a cramp and Partey couldn't, play the full 90.
Yeah.
But, I'm happy with that because we wanted to see Partey and he had a vital role to play in today's game.
He was superb. I really loved Partey's performance. I thought he was just in the box clearing when he had to be, and he was the one who looked like he could pick out a pass, get us into the final third when we were trying to score.
Exactly.
I loved him.
And Tierney, we all know what he's going to bring over on that left-hand side.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I think Arteta got it right today.
Yeah, I think so too.
With the starting.
Am I hearing whether we've got more clips? Yeah, let's hear what you guys have been saying.
Happy with the 3 points, but we need to be better in the final third. Arteta, to me, is getting everything right. Lineup, tactics, formation. Our build-up play from the back is good. Ram still stays in goal for me with his distribution, commanding of the area. I'm convinced now. Our transition from defense to attack is looking good, and even when we get to the final third, we have runners into the box. We're creating dangerous situations, but there's a lack of decision making. And then when we actually make the right decision, the weight of pass is off. And then when the weight of pass is right, we miss our chances. So we need to have more ruthlessness in the final third, and it's going to be Arteta getting the stick and getting the blame if we don't improve that. And we have our best players out on that pitch right now. So to me, Arteta, he's doing everything right. The players now need to go ahead and execute.
Hello everyone, thank you. I'm Abraham. I'm happy about the win. At least we were able to grind out a victory. Really, Ramsdale brings calmness to the goal. I prefer him more compared to Leno. There's more we can actually do. I would love to see more of Martinelli instead of Saka. He's not really on his game. And also, probably for the next one, we can have, like I said, instead of Uber. But great win. Thank you.
1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0. Okay, fuck all that. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Like, we played well. That first 8 minutes was stunning, right? I had doubts about that midfield three. Odegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe in there. But look, we were fluid that first 8 minutes. I mean, look, it looked good for that first 8 minutes. After that first 8 minutes, we went flat. I don't know what happened, all right? Like, that concerns me. Why don't we have a plan after that early pressure we put fails? What happens to the plan? Like, it's just like we just go haphazard after it, and whatever comes, you know what I mean? And then Ben White, my God. Are we sure? I keep asking you guys, are we sure he's a central defender? Because that boy is a natural centre midfielder. He's got no strength for centre-back position. Imagine Gabriel and Saliba partnership with Partey and Ben White in front of them. I'm just saying, how does Saka make it a full 90 minutes? Do we not see that this kid is burnt out? Does our manager not see that this kid is burnt out? He played the whole season last season. He didn't have an off season, was at the Euros, and now comes straight back into the first team. Where's Martinelli? Hey, where's Martinelli? Can Martinelli not get a go? I don't get it. Don't bring Xhaka back. Ramsdale, good game, bruv. Good game. Tomiyasu, big boss.
All right, we're back. Guys, before we talk any more about Arsenal, I just want to read the super chat from Sang-Yuk. Says, Sang-Yuk's the guy who sent the video in. He says, I voiced my opinion and got racially attacked in the chat. Now, before we do anything, first of all, it is completely and utterly unacceptable, and we won't tolerate any form of racism. Any racism in the chat, you're blocked, you're gone, you're not welcome back on this channel in the comment section. As simple as that. Sang-Yuk, thank you for sending your video in. I really appreciate your opinion. Yeah, I didn't agree with everything. That's fine. That's the beauty of this. You come have your say, and we will listen, and we will discuss it. So I just want to get that out there. I'm really sorry you had to go through that, and we are dealing with everyone in the comment section that that's just performed... just sending some despicable comments. So, yeah, I'm really sorry I had to go through that, mate. But thank you for sending in your video. Now, Lee Judges is here. How are we?
How are we doing? You all right?
Sorry.
Who was that last guy on there?
Do you know what? I didn't catch the name. But
whoever he was, top man, made up some very, very good points.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on. Reflect on the performance.
Well, I don't think it was great. I don't think it was a great performance, if I'll be honest. I thought the front three were poor. Lack of options, I suppose, making the right options. But ultimately, listen, for me, it was all about 3 points today. I don't care how we won, as long as we got the 3 points, and we got the 3 points. And away from home, biggest plus for me, clean sheet, 2 clean sheets on the trot. New signings, some of them doing really, really well. Tomiyasu, I thought, was fantastic.
Yeah, did well, didn't he?
Last 10 minutes, really come into his own. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of Arteta and Aubameyang congratulating him, because I think that they knew what he was doing. He won every header, every tackle when it mattered. Gabriel and Mintz back there, and Ramsdale was superb as well. You know, so that side of it, very, very pleased. And ultimately, you know, when you are going to be successful, you have to defend and get clean sheets away from home. And 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'm happy with it today.
Absolutely. I think this is one of those games you look at in the calendar and you go, I'll just take the 3 points there. And I know with what's been happening throughout the season, Norwich was an iffy performance at best. Some nice moments. But this was different. I kind of went into this game going, I'm less worried about the performance this week, and I just want to get the win because I know how awkward Burnley can make it.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I was disappointed with the performance probably against Norwich, if I'll be honest, but it was more important getting the result. Today, yeah, there's things to work on, but ultimately it's about getting the job done. Listen, anybody that's been to Burnley will know what I'm saying. It's not the nicest place to go, and I don't mean that in any disrespect to Burnley and the fans and whatever. They make it uncomfortable for you, and we done everything right today. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was at Burnley. There was one year they didn't roll the pitch and let the grass grow and things like that.
All that.
You know, and that's their prerogative. They can do that. That's fair enough. So to go there, get a result, get a performance. Look, you know, people have been saying how great Leeds are, giving them so many compliments. Leeds United, they went there and drew. We've gone there, dug out a win. Not as entertaining as it was the Leeds game by no chalk in imagination, but ultimately we got 3 points, they got 1. So who's the happier?
I completely agree with you. Let's look at these new signings. So I think they're front stage. They're the front of the stage for me, because Ramsdale I thought was brilliant. White I thought had some poor moments and some good moments. Tomiyasu I thought was fantastic. Odegaard wins us the game. It feels like and Tavares and Lokonga, by the way, I thought came on and did really well.
Came on and done their jobs.
Is that all 6 signings have had a part to play in this game?
Have contributed, exactly.
Listen, now that they're in, and you know we've back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets. Can we start to maybe see a new Arsenal, dare I say, before everyone comes at me?
Well, I think it's too early to say that, if I'll be honest, but let's just talk about Ramsdale. Can he do any better than what he's done?
Absolutely not. Not today.
3 clean sheets, because you've got to include the win, West Brom one.
Yep.
So he's made what I'm going to saying about him today. The ball corners coming in, first 2 or 3 comes out, claims and catches. Then all of a sudden you're not worried about corners so much. So what does that give you? Gives your defence a bit of stability, knowing that he's going to come and claim everything. So from that point of view, he done well. Then I look at the defence today, and if you're going to be really honest about defence, as much as Burnley or whatever, how many shots did Ramsdale have to say? I can't remember one. So defensively, we're doing our job. There's something working that's happening there, like, you know.
Absolutely.
Gabriel coming back to the team, by the way, is immense.
Yeah,
you know
massive.
what I mean? So done really well. Tomiyasu, I think was superb, as I've already said. Good signing. But what we've had today, and you can criticise Edu, you can criticise Arteta from the signs that all of them have contributed. Same as Gabriel. Gabriel's a signing of Edu and Mikel. Done really, really well today. I thought Odegaard today, I don't get why people criticise him.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I really
honestly.
don't. I think that his work rate should be applauded.
Yeah,
which I'll be honest, should be there anyway.
Yeah.
But you still, you still got to put a shift in, which he did. And as poor as our front three were today, I thought Xhaka, that's probably the worst game I've ever seen him play in an Arsenal shirt. It is worrying now.
Xhaka?
Saka.
Yeah, that's...
Because I probably think it was Xhaka less than Saka. Right, you know what I mean? But that was probably his worst performance for Arsenal.
Yeah, it was poor.
He worked hard. Put his body on the line. If it wasn't for, people will say that it was his run that created the free kick.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
But ultimately it weren't a great for him. Pepe the same. Thought he was poor in possession and everything like that. But ultimately I see him working back. I see him in the second half helping out Tomiyasu, which is what you want.
Yeah.
And I thought Aubameyang didn't really get a lot of service today, but I thought he chased and harried everything down. That is what you expect your front three to do. Listen, if we can defend well like we did today, in parts, and then get our front three firing, we're in for some, hopefully we'll be in a better shape.
I agree. Don't forget, guys, send in your videos. We're going to play them up here on the screen and get your opinions. And I think we've got a few now, actually, so we're going to hear them. And they've got some big questions for Lee in a sec. But let's hear what you guys have to say.
Big up AFTV from Russia. Just want to say that wasn't a convincing performance. That wasn't a convincing win. Even Lord Bentner never produced such a bad performance like Aubameyang did tonight. Through his whole Arsenal career, Lord Bentner never played like this, like Aubameyang did in this game. And Bukayo Saka, look, I know he's a young kid, but you have to recover from the Euros by now. You have to restore your skills. You have to do the basics in the penalty area. He can't give a simple pass. He gets the ball, just shoot it on the target. You can't even do that, man. I mean, what is this? So many problems on the pitch. I think Arteta must go. We are not convinced by this win, and we will never be until this team improves the performance on the pitch.
Hi guys, Diego saying hi from Colorado. Really love the game. A little early for me, but you know what? I have to work, which made it good for me, so I can watch the game here. Anyways, I like the result, 1-0. I think it could have been 2 or 3. We had a lot of opportunities to score a goal, but we weren't too clinical. That's the one thing I want to say about this game, even including in the Norwich game. We're not clinical, and I think the players need to be more clinical in order to to get the confidence up, to put the goals in and make them harder for them to catch up. I think Arteta needs to work on that more with his team. Still don't have that much faith no more as I had before. I still don't think he's the proper man for the job, but if he can get some good results, if he can get the team in a good form, like 5 wins in a row or something like that, I think that'll relieve the pressure off the fans. But he needs to. This is Arteta's season to be. We're grading him on this now, and hopefully he can help us get to the top 6, top 5, But yeah. Really loved the game. Tomiyasu was good. I loved him. Thomas Partey was wasteful, I think, in my opinion. He kept on giving out too many balls to the opponents. And Ramsdale, I really loved him. So much confidence I saw from this guy. He's going to be the future Arsenal goalkeeper, in my opinion. And I think he should, be number 1 instead of Bernard Leno. I love Leno. He's a really good shot stopper, but Ramsdale, for me, good communication, and he has the love for, you can see the true passion for him,
Interesting. Not convinced by Thomas Partey there. I thought Partey had a good game.
Done okay.
I thought
he was
really good.
I think, listen, you're going to get more out of Thomas Partey when he's fit. He's not even fit at this moment in time. You know, we can't last 90 minutes at the moment.
Yeah, I hear that.
So, but I like what he can contribute. But what I want to see now is 5, 6, 7 games of that, not breaking down all the time. But he done okay today. But he will get better.
Yeah, he will. And I've got to say, watching him, there's still more levels for him to go up.
You know what I mean? He's on level 4.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean?
He's a fantastic player.
Level 4 is good for a lot of midfield players. I'd like to have been a level 4. You know what I mean? But he's got ceilings to go,
He's absolutely superb. We've got a super chat from James Strong here. Says 3 points, let's be happy with the win and enjoy the weekend. The constant complaining is so tiring. He's put "so" with multiple O's. There's a time and place for everything. The one thing I'll say, James, is I'm with you in that I'm happy we won. I don't think Burnley's an easy place to go, and I don't think you should ever turn your nose up at a win away from home in the Premier League, 1-0 clean sheet. I think you should always be happy about that. But I understand why people are concerned that we're kind of, for want of a better word, scraping some of these wins. If Odegaard doesn't put that in the back of the net, do we win the game? We had the chances, but we've seen how wasteful we are. Same with Norwich, that bit of luck. Pepe bounced off his heel when he's on the floor. I understand why people are concerned, and I do think it's worth discussing. Lee, what's your kind of take on all that? Do you understand why people are concerned a little bit with the performances?
No, not on that one today. Sometimes in a football season, you just write games off.
Right.
You win the game, move on. Don't really go too much.
Fair enough.
You can learn just as much about winning a game as you can losing a game. That was one today that you just think, look, it's a difficult game. If Arsenal would have won 3-0, for instance, people would just say, well, that's expected. If we'd have lost, it would have all come onto us. We haven't. We've got the results. You just say, right, OK, we move on to the next game, and we now got 6 days to build and focus on the Spurs game. I know we've got the game in midweek, but ultimately, we should be able to deal with that. So for me, I would be more concerned. The concerns for me if we played like that at home.
Yeah.
Like we did against Norwich. But, when I look back at the game against Norwich, lots of pressure because of where we were in the situation. I don't really want to... I don't expect us to play like that again against Norwich. It was a bit cautious. When we're at home, I don't think we will. But, listen, you're not going to get the perfect performance, whatever way you look at it. But ultimately today, it's for the away fans travelling back to London today, they've got to win. And that's the pleasing thing about it. I don't care about anything else today. And in fact, we could have lost the game if it weren't for some poor refereeing. So that is a concern. Finish the game off, kill these teams off, so you ain't got to worry about idiots like that referee today.
I definitely agree.
Finish with him.
You got to kill it off, and I think
one of the best referees he is. Anthony Taylor. Hold your head in shame. If you're one of the best, the rest of them I fear for.
I wonder how Lee feels about Anthony Taylor.
Gives us bald men a bad name, James. That's what he does.
Oh my! Okay, let's get some super chats in.
He's no sex symbol either.
Let's get some super chats in. Des says Arsenal need to be faster, more creative and threatening, bringing the ball forward. Arteta needs to utilise the player creativity, not suppress them. Again, the chances were there. I get what he means, but the chances were there.
I do get what he means, but I also think that don't forget we're a little bit... When you've lost 3 games on the spin and you got smashed 5-0, you lose a bit of confidence. What builds that? Winning games. So when you start winning games, confidence starts to come. That will be a big... I know a 1-0 win and all that. That would be a big confidence booster today.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you're playing today, there'd be getting on that coach, coming home now going, whoa, that was a good... trust me, that is a big
No, I agree. A lot of people wouldn't have fancied us to get something today, or maybe to drop points in some capacity. And for the goalkeeper, the back four, and those young players to come through and go, Burnley's a tough Premier League test, and we went out and we won and we created chances. I think, I agree with you. There'll be a confidence booster. Super chat from Ambrose says, please AFTV, go back and analyse Aubameyang. The guy's finished. Not even good enough for Burnley. Get St Maximin from Newcastle. Listen, I don't want to read about whether he's finished or not. I don't think that's the case. What I do see is a player who, made errors today, but tried and worked hard. Yeah. And actually, the space was there. The opportunities were there, and people were getting the pass wrong. And there was one, was it Saka or Pepe? I can't remember.
Pepe, I should have put him in. He made the angle, just slip him in.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your service. Strikers is only as good as your service.
Was it Aubameyang who slipped in Smith Rowe when there was that time?
And
that's an assist if Smith Rowe hits it properly.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, there's times to criticise players and there's times not to. As I said, I don't think the front three played well today.
Yeah.
But this is not the time to, it was a defensive performance that should have probably, you may be looking at it and saying that we should have been a little bit more attacking. But I felt at times with the right pass, there was a couple of times that I think it was Smith Rowe burst through in the first half. Should have put Pepe in. The ball was behind Pepe. He had to come back and collect it.
That happens so many times.
If the proper pass is in there and then Pepe doesn't make the right decision, then you can have a criticism of him. But I didn't think they got a lot of service today, as I said. But ultimately, you can be a little bit concerned about that. But listen, let's see what Aubameyang does at home. Listen, he needs to score goals. I agree with that. But he also needs to get chances. I don't think he really had a chance today, if I'll be honest.
No, I can't think of a chance that I thought, Aubameyang should do better there. Maybe one I'm trying to think, but, no, really, off the top of my head. But yeah, anyway, interesting chat. I got another super chat from Suleiman says, does the team look like they run out of steam at the hour mark, or is it just me? Yeah, I think there's a degree of that. I think there's a degree of we tire, maybe mentally. I think maybe there's a lot of instruction from Arteta, and maybe it just kind of goes out the window the last half hour a little bit.
Yeah, and as I say, we've got a few. What we've had to do today, and I stress this, very, very highly. We're having to make substitutions because our players can't do 90 minutes at the moment. Now that's not going to happen in a couple of weeks' time. So this is what I'm saying. For me, Partey plays on Wednesday night. You know what I mean? To get more fitness into his legs, because tactically we can't make changes because we're taking players off to supplement them not being fit. Tierney, how many 90 minutes is it before? He's not making 90 minutes, and because his body's tiring on him, if you be honest. So
it is a slight concern.
We're having to make a left back for a left back when realistically sometimes in a game you've got to make a change to tweak the front three. The front three today probably needed changing, but we couldn't because we've had to make changes in other areas.
No, I understand that. I want to ask you a question, Lee. I've had this in my mind for the last 15 minutes or so. How would you rate our first half out of 10?
Our what?
How would you rate our first half performance out of 10?
7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say it was decent. How would you rate a second half on the basis that we probably had more chances, more openings, looked more likely to score, but generally, in terms of you're talking balance of play, we were far more poor.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I find it a really difficult one to have an opinion on. I don't know what I think.
It was a 5 out of 10 performance in the second half, but players got us through that.
Yeah.
Now, what I say is that Gabriel's performance was as good as in the first half it was in the second, and same with Tomiyasu. What happened in the second half, I think, is mistakes.
Yeah.
Players making mistakes, players not making the right decisions, defenders not clearing their lines when they should have, giving up chances like for the penalty decision. But basically the referees made a big error, but ultimately he shouldn't have been given that opportunity to make the error. Ben White should just clear his lines. We're 1-0 up, defend properly.
Yeah. Few people agreeing with you, actually, saying 5 out of 10 second half. So yeah, I think I'd agree with that. We've got a super chat from YouTube Sebi saying, why don't you read the super chats? Listen, firstly, we read as many comments as we can, including super chats, but also they pop up on the screen and we're getting the videos in as well. So listen, we're trying to give everyone the chance to have their say. We've got a super chat as well from Jake Rook, says, nothing encouraging today. We were barely able to possess for even a little bit, and Saka and Pepe were atrocious. Ultimately, it's Arteta's fault, and I'm so sick of how awful we are to watch. Diego says, one more thing before I go, we need a target man. The amount of crosses that go into the box, if we had a target man, he could bang those in. God bless all of you. Oh, they're all pouring in. LJ Murray says, Aubameyang did nothing for us today or any of the first 3 games and is way too weak. Lacquer all day for me against Spurs. And Rohit says, do you guys want to see any change to the lineup against Spurs? Love both you guys. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Rohit. I really appreciate that. A lot to digest there. A lot of people are not happy with the performance.
There's no positives. He's just 1-0 away from home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Come on, that is a positive in itself. I get that player. Like Pepe probably didn't play well, Saka didn't play well, Aubameyang, whatever. But ultimately, 3 points is a positive in my eyes.
Yeah, I completely agree. Guys, don't forget to send in your videos. We are coming probably to the last 5-10 minutes of the show, or wherever we are with it. But keep sending in your videos. We'll try to get a few more in. The number comes up on the screen. We want to hear your say. We want to react to it. We want to be discussing with you guys. We've had people from all around the world. I love it. People from Kenya, people from America, people from Australia, all sending their videos. And I love it. I love hearing what you guys have to say, especially on the back of a win. Now, I think we've got a couple more clips now, so we're going to play those, and then we'll come back and Helen will be joining us.
Hey guys, happy with the win, but we definitely need to improve on the way we're playing. We've got to finish the chances that we're creating. A lot of things missing, but take a win. Win is a win. If this was Man U, Liverpool, even Man City, people not say anything about, oh, it's 1-0 against Norwich or Burnley. They would just say, oh, they're not playing well, but they're winning. But it's because of us. Everybody has to look into, oh, they should be winning 3-0, 4-0. But, win is a win. We take it.
Hello, AFTV. I'm Aaron. This is my reaction to today's game. I think it's good. We got 3 points. Wasn't the best performance overall, but I think the most important thing today was getting 3 points, getting some more confidence going into the next games. At the back, I thought we were really good today. Gabriel stood out. He was really good. Tomiyasu as well. He's looking like a fantastic signing, as well as Ramsdale. And I don't think there's a way you can drop Ramsdale for Leno now. Ramsdale, he's so calm at the back. He helps the players play out from the back because he's calm himself and they become calm. So he was really good today. I think he was probably my man of the match today. Tomiyasu, Gabriel, both brilliant. Interesting, went with the 4-3-3 with Smith Rowe and Odegaard in front of Partey. But going forward, I don't think we were that good. I think if we had, like Liverpool's players, City players in that forward position, I think we would have got more goals today. But it is what it is. Go on to the next games now, and hopefully we can beat Wimbledon and also win the North London derby next week.
Helen's here for the last 10 minutes. Thank you for joining me, Helen. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. We got a super chat from Alex saying, people saying Aubameyang worked hard off the ball. Laka off the ball is better. If Aubameyang isn't scoring, then play Lacazette, as he can score and has better link-up play. Interesting. Vijay says, Saka made some bad touches in the box. Need to play him in the Carabao Cup and play Martinelli. Or move Aubameyang to the left and play Lacazette up front. So despite a win, people want changes.
People want more goals.
I think people want more flair and more goals and more on the edge of your seat entertainment, let's say. But you rarely get that when you go to Burnley.
No. And the fact of the matter is, 2 clean sheets, 6 points at the last 2 games. Happy days.
And what more could you want?
That's all I want.
Okay,
Obviously,
I joke. You can want a lot more.
We want a lot more, but we
for the state we were in.
Yeah. We're very happy.
Yeah, I think so. I asked Charlene this. I asked Lee as well. How do you judge that performance in terms of... I find it so difficult when we've had all these chances, yet I still don't feel like we were that great going forward. How do you say it? Do you think it doesn't matter how we're playing? As long as the chances come, then we're playing well? Or is it a case of you could just tell that actually... we were maybe finding ourselves in a position where we're 1-0 up, so Burnley are conceding us space? How are you kind of seeing it?
I just think we're still lacking a lot of confidence up front.
Is that what you put it down to, confidence?
Yeah, a lot of confidence, because the possession was there, the chances were there, poor decision making, poor touches sometimes, poor passes, the wrong pass weren't played.
Yeah.
Had that have been different, there possibly would have been more goals. So it kind of would have been slightly different. So I think it's a combination of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we are getting some quotes are coming through from Arteta's press conference. We're just going to chat about and react a little bit. Speaking about Kieran Tierney, he said, again, he had a problem. I think he was cramping. The pitch was pretty difficult today. It was quite long. I don't know what he means by quite...
Does he mean the grass long? Or
maybe.
It must be the grass.
Maybe does that make it heavier?
It would make it heavier, and it would make the ball not, like
we kept saying they kept under hitting it.
So where they're under hitting it, where you would normally play it, and it would zip against a better surface. Maybe it was holding the ball up.
I said that in the watch along. I thought people were going to throw me with the old, you're deluded. But
no.
But these are tactics that teams deploy, and you were telling me about it a lot. They will say, listen, we know Arsenal want to zip it about, so we're going to make this really awkward for them.
And there's some grounds you'd go to, you see they'll stud, you know, like they put like holes in certain areas.
Yeah.
So that the ball, or an area that you're like, especially around the penalty box, so the ball, you know, they're going to make it more difficult for you to score.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what he said about Thomas Partey, who I thought was really good today. I think some people said he did okay, some said he was a bit wasteful, others said he was brilliant. I would love your take. This is what Arteta said. He's the anchor. He's the one who reads what is happening and makes the rest better. How he manages the transition, his pressing, he has a charisma. Now, what is interesting about that is when he uses the words, he's the anchor. And there's a lot of debate. I've debated with Robbie, with Cecil, with Turkish about it. You know, what is Partey? Is he the holding midfield like he was today, where I thought he was fantastic? Or is he the box-to-box? You want him getting forward a bit more? Today, I'm only being more convinced that he can sit in front of the back four and just control and be a part of that really solid core. What did you make of him today? Where do you think his future is?
I think he's definitely that player that sits and protects our defence. And then, you know, if they can command and grow and really master that style, you're going to then have all your creative players popping the ball, just creating so much ahead of them. That's what we want to see anyway.
No, I completely agree. From creative players to defensive players, Arteta and Gabriel said, we know he's a player with an incredible future who has already given us a lot. It doesn't get much harder than playing here in the Premier League, and he was terrific today. He then added, when speaking about Gabriel and Tomiyasu, says both of them I think were terrific. I thought the back four in general was terrific. And that has been, for me, if we're talking about from Man City getting spanked 5-0 and absolutely destroyed, and even the Chelsea game where we looked so suspect at the back, and then you go one further at Brentford when you felt they were all over us. The one thing that has 100% improved for me with the introduction of signings, maybe that international break gives us a chance to freshen up, the back four looks far more organised and reassured in what it's doing.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that, but we knew that due to COVID, due to, you know, injuries, we were not able to start the season with the starting lineup that we would have wanted, that Mikel would have wanted. Mm-hmm. So seeing them now back in the team, I mean, we were saying all season, last season, Gabriel was by far our most superior defender.
Yeah,
and
looks
you know,
a fantastic sign.
It's fantastic.
27
it was a beast
million,
in there, yeah. And I really want to see Saliba. I really want to see him back at Arsenal. I want to see him. That partnership.
Challenge Ben White for that spot,
Not challenge, he'll move him to the side. And I think, genuinely. But in a nice way that there'll probably be a back three.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
You know? I just think that's how I see Ben being the best asset for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that none are good enough. I just think the power they will have together.
Yeah.
And also for Arsenal, if you do have an injury, you've got better players that can come in.
Yeah, I understand. Well, we're just going to see if we've got any more clips to play just for the end. Yep. What's that, sorry? And let's just go through some super chats. We got one from Hayward, says 450 minutes in the Premier League and only one goal, not from set pieces. Arteta out. Yeah, I hear that. What else we got? We got Andrew saying we are so happy, sitting in 12 happy days, defo top four after beating Norwich and Burnley. Alex says, so we are ignoring the fact that Tavares has the speed of Usain Bolt, play him up front instead of Aubameyang. I thought him and Lokonga did really well. And Lee and I noticed that every signing had a part to play today.
They did.
And I thought Lokonga did well too.
He did. Lokonga, I've liked all of our signings. And can I mention how amazing I think Aaron Ramsdale did today?
Superb.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Refreshing. So refreshing, because I was Team Martinez all the way.
Yeah.
And when I was devastated when he left, I just could not understand why we sold him. So seeing them rectify the error, because I believe that was an error by the club, is good as well. It's good to see we're learning from the mistakes we're making.
No, I agree. I'm glad that we brought in a goalkeeper that can genuinely compete. And it looks like not only compete, but, you know,
It's
potentially be an upgrade.
I just feel like he brings like a leadership also to the back.
Sense of stature, maybe.
Yeah, and
I feel bad every time I'm praising Ramsdale and saying what he's good at. I feel like I'm slating Leno.
No, we're not.
But Leno's got other qualities.
Yeah.
But I think maybe Ramsdale's qualities suit what we are doing.
That's
more.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
He suits the style the manager is imposing on the team.
Yeah.
he tried to impose it when he made the decision of going with Leno, and we just saw that it didn't suit his game. It's not that he's not a good keeper. Leno's an amazing goalkeeper. The saves, how many games did he?
Keep us
how many
in
points has he won for us?
Yeah.
So it's respect all the way for Leno. We're not critical of our players. We're just, we're stating the obvious.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah,
they've got different strengths.
Got a comment here from Zach, says, Helen, never leave AFTV, classiest lady around. So there you go, on the back of what you've just been saying about Leno. I thought that was fitting. Just as I double check, we don't have any more clips. No more. Guys, thank you so much for sending them in though, and we are here at full time after every single Arsenal game. We'll be here to hear your thoughts, your feelings, and react and discuss it with you guys, because we want to reach out to all Gooners worldwide and hear what you guys make in the game. And it's interesting. I come away and I take a lot from this. I learn from it. I want to end on something, and I'm going to try to turn this negative into a positive, because I always want to end on a good note. Bukayo Saka, I thought, struggled today. I thought he struggled against Norwich too. But what does it say about him that not only does Arteta trust him to stay on for the whole 90 for both games, one where we were needing a goal, one where we need to see it out, but the other thing that despite playing poorly by his standards, he was key to both goals we scored.
Yeah, and I guess it just shows what a great player Bukayo is, because I was the first to voice I didn't think he had a good game by his standards. Yeah,
absolutely.
And what a great prospect.
You think he rides Grant and Hanley to keep the move going against Norwich.
At 20%.
Yeah,
his 20%, 30%, because that's what I think the last few matches have been. Because he's played a lot of games.
Yeah.
He went to the Euros, just for many reasons, but he's that good that, and I was the one calling him out, like, take him off, rest him, we need to manage this player better. And they are my concerns also, even at that, it's could he have come off, and could someone else have still done what he gave us?
Well, it's a good point. Do many Arsenal players hold off Grant Hanley and show that grit and determination, and ultimately we get the goal from it? But then you add to that how many players, he's being asked to get into very specific positions. He's getting used to a new role. He's not being.
But he's so compliant, isn't he?
Right. We used to see him on the left wing, bombing down and getting the ball into the box and racking up the assists. We remember. He doesn't do that now. He's much more central and almost more number 10 role.
Definitely.
And that goal comes from him getting the ball in a really, really dangerous pocket of space, driving. Ultimately, they had to foul him because they knew what was coming. And I feel, and I know there were other moments where we didn't capitalise, but there could have been an assist for him there if he was allowed to keep going.
Definitely.
So, well done to Bukayo Saka. I know it wasn't his best performance, but ultimately, still crucial.
I think what I see is how intelligent he is.
Yeah, incredibly intelligent footballer.
He can just switch, at a drop of a hat with new instructions. He can just perform and deliver whatever the manager asks of him.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Well, look, that rounds off the show, guys. We have won. I haven't even looked at the table. Have you got the table? I haven't even looked at the table.
Aren't we?
We're up to 12. I'm going to have a little look just as I say goodbye to you. But Helen, thank you so much for joining. Thank you to everyone who came and joined me here to discuss the game.
Thank you, Arsenal, for making it pleasant. A nice weekend.
Exactly. But more than anything, thanks to you fans for sending in your videos, chatting with us, and just discussing with us, especially on the back of a win. This is so interesting now for Arsenal because the performances aren't what everyone wants to see. The wins are there now since the international break. Will anyone care what the performance looks like if we beat Tottenham?
Definitely
I don't think they will.
Definitely not.
But I do understand that levels need to go up.
But
so let's
I'd
see.
love us to score lots of goals that day.
Wouldn't that
and keep
be nice?
A clean sheet.
The first Wimbledon, and that won't be easy. Wimbledon on Wednesday night. Thank you for joining. Like, subscribe, check out all the fan camps that are coming out, not only from here at the studio, but out at Turf Moor as well. Robbie, Cecil, loads have been there. Stricto's over there too. Julian.
Pippa, Pippa.
Pippa, big up Pippa. They'll be having a good time on that journey with the win. So well done, guys. Well done, Arsenal. We will see you Wednesday night for another full time, hopefully on the back of another win.